how should we think about Chinese consumption today? So the starting point for a lot of people in this is consumer confidence. And there's a consumer confidence survey from the National Bureau of Statistics, the official statistical agency in China, which has collapsed. So consumer confidence has never been weaker than it has been over the course of the last few months. So this looks like a very good point of consumption is therefore weak. Consumer confidence is terrible. This should mean something, right? This should have macroeconomic implications. Now, I think this is an interesting point because back when I was working in a bigger company, a much bigger company than I'm working in today, but when I was working for sort of a proper company, if you like I tried to make this point in 2017, 2018, but in reverse. So if you go back and look at the data then, consumer confidence was very strong in China. And yet one of the things that investors were talking about and a lot of sell-side analysts were talking about was that consumption was weak. Why was consumption weak? Because things like auto sales were falling, because the data in terms of retail sales was weaker. And yet consumer confidence was very strong. Now, I'm sort of thinking now that actually maybe consumer confidence doesn't really tell us anything very much at all, because back in the day in 2017, 2018, nobody else was willing to sort of engage with this idea. And sort of maybe the data was more important than the consumer confidence numbers suggest. So, I mean, if it wasn't important then perhaps today, consumer confidence being so weak also really isn't that important. It doesn't really tell us very much. It maybe tells us something about, I don't know, a general level of angst in the economy, but it doesn't necessarily tell us very much about how consumers are actually spending their money.